Next section is warm market. This is your friends, family, acquaintances. It could be people that you know on Facebook that you have never actually met, but you are familiar with. Um, they are not recommended by FFL solely because warm market statistically is more likely to fall off, meaning cancel their policies. They do take a lot longer. So because warm market actually has a like a 7 touch rule. So in order to go from the first initial point of contact, from mentioning anything about what you're doing to try to get any type of sale generated from that, it takes 7 more on average, 7 more times of contact. So that can be a phone call, reaching out, seeing each other and talking, sending a text message, anything. It takes on average 7 times to get a warm market friend, family, acquaintance to turn into a policy. So it's definitely a longer time investment. Obviously, it's free. You can, for anyone who say doesn't have startup capital to purchase your own leads, that's actually how we recommend getting it started. So we kind of will go through and guide you and teach you on the whole process of what to say and how to say it and how to do all that. And then I actually use this as an exercise for new agents. So I recommend reaching out to your warm market, and this is the best approach for any new job. Hey, I'm new at this. I don't know if you've seen, I started doing life insurance. I really need a little bit of practice. I'm a little bit nervous to go in front of some strangers, and I don't know what to say yet, or I kind of learned and I'm not really comfortable saying it yet. So I just wanted to see if you might be willing to like sit down with me and let me practice with you a little bit. And well, I mean, and also along with that, it's actually all real information. So everything that I go through that I'm doing, I'm actually going to be giving you real quotes. So I can go through practicing how to do that too. And then, you're not obligated to get anything, but if there's something that you like, or maybe you like the price or something, I can actually help you get set up with that too. So what you do in that, you're actually getting practice. You're using your friends and family to train yourself. And when you go sit down and do this, this entire practice appointment, you have to set the tone and let them know, like, hey, I don't know you, okay? I'm gonna pretend like you're just an average client. We're not gonna be joking around and stuff. Like please, can you be hard on me and make sure that I'm actually like getting treated like if I was in a real scenario. And they will. And what's cool about it is that at the very beginning, it kind of actually gives you the opportunity to generate business out of that. So it's training and potentially a way to generate your own income for startup capital to go into your leads. Not everybody is able to do that, I will say. And this isn't the standard for everyone, but I will say that personally, in my experience, when I first started, I actually maxed out a credit card to generate $400 worth of startup capital. And because of that, I got into my leads and I did it and I practiced. With cold market leads, every once in a while you do accidentally get a bad batch of leads. So for me, I had done it for a few rounds, I guess. It kind of sustained me for a few months, and then I ran into a bad batch and I wasn't responsible with my money. So I kind of ended up broke. I didn't have any more capital and I spent the last of it on more leads. And I thought I was going to be out of the business. Unfortunately, a lot of people work themselves out of the business by doing this, by not, being responsible with their money at the beginning. And I thought I was going to be out, but then I had an epiphany and I was like, oh my God, I did a little bit of practice with some friends and family, but now I might actually now that I know what I'm talking about, I can actually go out and do that for real with some of my relatives. And don't expect these numbers all the time, right? I will say that. But On my, I think it was like my third or fourth month being full time, I had no money for the leads, and I decided that I was going to go back into my warm market and practice some of the lead generation, like I'm going to explain in a minute, outreach, and just as much as I could trying to line up friends and family. I literally made an entire list on my wall in my office of everybody that I knew who might be open to talking to me about it. And that was actually my first big month. I made just under $17,000 that month just because of them. And frankly, that I would have been out of the business if it wasn't for that, because it was a learning lesson I had to go through to understand how to become responsible with my money and make sure I leave stuff for the business and don't take too much paycheck or anything like that. And that's not every month. I did do it with a balance of warm market and reaching out to my the old leads that I had purchased. So definitely working your leads a lot makes a difference. But I will say that because I treated my friends and family as business and not as friends and family when I took care of them, I've been fortunate enough that even though statistically they fall off, none of them have fallen off yet. Knock on wood. But it makes a huge difference. So for somebody that may not have startup capital or has a little bit, not quite enough, and they want to generate more, it definitely is a good way to get yourself trained. Also to just get experience all around and keep going through those processes, because every relative, every friend has different scenarios. They have different finances, different health issues, just all around. It's really good practice to go through and get like this, get your scripts down for on the phone, for in person when you're in home, for going through the quoting process, even a practice application. You don't actually have to do submit the application, but you can go through and practice how it would go and then just not submit it. But yeah, so definitely if anybody needs help getting their startup capital going, it's a good option to try to get some of that. Also, whether you need capital or not, it's great training. Excuse me. I will say, along with practicing with them, excuse me, doing your phone script, that's actually a really good place to practice as well. So, oh my God, my throat. Excuse me, my throat's bothering me. I'm gonna have to get something to eat. Anyways, practicing your phone script. So like I was saying, when I first did it, was trying to learn, I got my scripts and was reviewing them. It was really awkward learning how to talk about it and say those words and like remember what words to say. Like state regulated life insurance program was just a tongue twister. So whoever's in your home, that's a good person to, like, while you're watching TV, just pause the TV and say like, hey, listen to me real quick. And I literally had to do that with Aaron, my boyfriend, and made him sit there. And I did the same thing with my parents. I called them actually, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna call you in a minute, pretend you don't know me. And I hung up and called them. And yeah, it's a lot of fun because you're able to like joke and laugh about your mistakes, but you get more comfortable saying the words. So whether you're in front of a dial coach or actually calling a real person, it's not quite so awkward when you're saying these words because they're foreign to everyone at the beginning.